Hi, hello, namaste. My name is Abhishek Pathak. This is MVC part 10. In this video, I will cover three important topics, and topics are entity framework database first, perform CRUD operation. CRUD means create, read, update, and delete. In this 10th video, I'll show you how we can use the create and read operation, and then we'll see the MVC interview questions. This is a continuation of MVC part 9. So if you have not watched MVC part 9, so I strongly recommend you to watch that part also, because in this video we saw what is entity framework and its version, step by step to set up entity framework database first approach with MVC. So let's quickly open the project. So this is the same project which we were earlier referring. So we created the entity framework, and in this video we will see how we can perform the create and read operation. So let's create one data access layer class. So right click, add class. Let's give the class name as employee del. Del means data access layer. In this class, okay, so in this class let's declare the variable name public. If you wonder how we can access the database tables, so we have this edmx is entity data model model xml. If we expand it, and see this class here, okay, so we have to create the object of this class to access the table. In this video, or in this entity framework, we have only one table. So let's go to this class, declare the, let's copy the class name here, okay, so let's give the name db context. And in constructor, so this is a shortcut to create the constructor CTOR double tap, and here we can initialize the this variable. Okay, now we have to use two things, create and read. So first of all, let's create a method bull save employee. Okay, and in save employee, what we will be passing, I am first writing the database operations. So this is the employee del, employee data access layer. Here user will be sending the model name. So if you are new, what is model? So in earlier video I have covered what is model. So let's give the name employee, okay, and let's write try catch log. So this object, let's use this object db context dot. So what is the table we have to use? tblEmployee. And this table, or this has one important method, that is add. And if you see the parameter of add, it takes the parameter of tblEmployee. So let's add this parameter here, and once you add this table here, you have to say db context dot save changes. So this save changes make sure your data, your new entity is saved in a database. So whenever we perform create, update, create, delete, create or delete, then what we have to do, we have to use this save changes. Okay, and since this method takes true, so let's return true from here, and if error occurs, then we will return false. So this is a simple method. This method is used to save the employee information. Okay, now this is our save. Now let's create a method for reading. So read means we will return a list because we want to show all the records. So how we can do that? Let's create a list, then take tblEmployee, and here we can say get all employees, get all employees. And how we can write it? So let's write a link query. So we can say where employees is equal to, this is a lambda, this is a link query which I am writing from item in db context. Always remember this class object and where we can find this class. So expand this edmx, under context.tt we have this context.cs, and this class object we have to create. So db context.tblEmployees, okay, select item. Since we want to retrieve the list, so we have to use this method .toList, okay. And now we can return the return employees from here. So this is two simple methods to perform the save and get all. Now we have written the database operations methods here. Now let's go to controller and add one controller here. Right click, add controller. We will add one new controller, and the controller name will be employee. So it's taking a little bit time. Okay, so employee, okay, right, add. This will add one new controller, and controller name will be employee. Okay, so now in this index we will show all the records, or we can say we will show the read method. So how we can use it? So let's take one variable, and if you're new to this var, so var is known as an anonymous data type. It can take any data type. So we have to call this class. So let's create the object of this class. Okay, so this class is under this folder. Okay, we have to add the namespace here. How we can use MVC and tag.em. So let's give the name tag is equal to new tag. Now del dot get all employees. Since in our database we don't have records because it was fresh one, so initially data will be blank, and this return view takes several overloaded methods. So it has got several overloaded methods. First is blank, we have to use this third one. What is that? Object model. So we have to pass this result in this view, and we can write like this. Okay, did we create the view for this action? No. If you want to make sure whether you have created or not, right click and say go to view. So we get this error, unable to find a matching view. It means the view is not created for this action. Right click, add view, give the name. So by default, if we don't give the name, it takes the same name. So our action name is index, and view name will be this. Razor engine. So we have two types of view engine are available: Razor and ASPX. These topics have been covered earlier, and let's click add. Okay, now we have to show the data. So how we can use the model in view? So we have to give this command. We have to write this line of code here, model, and then fully qualified name of your class. Where it is located? It is located under this folder, and if we expand it, tblEmployee.cs. So MVC and tag.em. So let's write it here. What's the project name? This. Under EF we have this. So when we define this model at the top, then our view becomes strongly typed. Okay, now let's create one table, and first of all we'll declare the column header. So let's navigate to this one, go to definition. What we have EmpId. So EmpId, so td EmpId, then what we have, let's do one thing. We can split the screen like this, so two screen will be visible. Then first name, then last name, then state, and at the end we will be having address. So this is the columns, okay, first row, and then now we are done. Now we will just pay attention whether single record will be written from this method or multiple. Okay, means it is going to return a single value or multiple, of course list, so it is going to return a multiple values. So just one thing we have to remember here, lot of people make the mistake, if we are passing the list from action to view, then we have to use the list here. Okay, now we are done with this. Now we have to iterate all the rows. So what we can do, let's write this for it, press double tap, here we can create the tr, and here we can give the td, and instead this collection we can use this model. Okay, so what is model? Model takes, or model is a variable. If we go press F12, then what it does, whatever you define here, so in our case we have defined the list of tblEmployee, so this object value will be assigned in this variable. And if you want to see, so if we place item, okay, since we are using razor, so we have to use the item dot empid. Okay, and similarly let's repeat all the rows here in empid, and I think we have to use this class again. So let's split here so that we don't make mistake. Okay, so what is the second column? First name, then last name, then gender, then mobile number, okay, mobile number, then country, then state and address. State and address. Okay, so initially since we don't have any data in our database, if we open our database, meanwhile it is opening the database, let's navigate to this one. Okay, so we are done for read operation. Now it is going to display all the records from our database in a table. Let's set one border also. Okay, so we are done with this operation. Now let's go to controller and let's create one more action for create. So as I said in earlier, in this video I will be covering two important thing: perform create and read operation. So we have written the operation for read. Now we will see create. So create. So why this create? Whenever anyone will open this create or will navigate to this action, so create form will be seen by that user. So right click, add view, let's give the create name. Okay, here we go. So this is like this, and okay, now again we have to declare the model. Now when will this time when we'll declare the model, it will be the single entity. Single entity means when anyone will create a record, then it will be single. Then we have to give the this MVC tblEmployees instead this list, because single entity will be created here. Now this time let's create the table again, table, then one tier. So first of all, since this EmpId is auto incremented in our table, that is identity column. If we want to make sure, let's open the database, and then we have some different columns are available: first name, last name, mobile number, country, state, and address. Okay, yeah. So uncut tag, I think this one. So we expanded, yeah. So this is the table, and these are the columns which we have. This is, if we right click and say create, so it is going to show me the table structure or table create query. Okay, here we go. So if you see this, EmpId is identity column, so we don't need to pass that column from here. We will be using some other columns. So what those columns are, again we have these options to split the screen. Just drag and point on this section, automatically it is going to split the screen. So let's give the first name. Okay, and now we have to give some input control. So here we can use the HTML helper class. So if you don't know what is the HTML helper, so in upcoming classes I'll explain what is this. So HTML helper classes or is used to create the HTML controls. So in this case we are creating the HTML text box. So when we use this for, so for is a strongly type. Even we can use this one, but for now we will use the strongly type. So give the lambda expression kind of thing, x dot first name. Okay. Yeah. So first name. So similarly, this is the first tier, then tier, then TD. Then we have to use the last name. Again we have to give the @HTML dot text box 4. What we have to give? X dot last name. Okay, let's copy it quickly. Okay, then first name, last name, then gender. So first name, last name. Let's give the gender. Then mobile number, and here we can give the mobile. And next is country. Okay, now two more columns are remaining, state and address. So let's give the name state, here also state, and last one is address. Okay, so address is generally quite long, so we can use here text area, and here we'll say address. Okay, we are done. Now we are showing all the columns or all the fields which are available here. Now we have to give one button. So here let's take tr td, and here we can say input and press double tap. Okay, type should always be submit. When we are submitting the form, always remember you may make mistake, so that is why I am repeating. When you submit the form, it should be, the type should be submit. Here we can say save employee. Okay, save employee. And in MVC, this is MVC, so we won't get a click event as we get in ASP.NET. Here we have to submit the form. And what is the way of submitting the form? Use this using, press double tap, and we have to keep our form inside the begin form. Okay, begin form, and here we can cut it, so everything is in form. Okay, so what is the use of this begin form? When we submit the form, by default it goes to create post method. Okay, if you remember, we have created this create, and to submit the form we have to create the one post method here, http post. We have to say public action result, sorry, yeah, action result, then give the name, and this create is going to submit the form. And what field will be there? First name, last name, gender, mobile number, country, state, address. Okay, so in short, this is going to pass this class here. And what we can do here, we can declare the tblEmployee. Okay, and once we retrieve the data, what we can do, we can use the method del.saveEmployee. And what is the parameter of this method? tblEmployee. So we can directly pass here. And once we retrieve the data, like in ASP.NET, what you do, once you perform create, read, update, delete, or whatever, you show all the records in a grid view. Similarly, and where we have written that section, we have written that section in this index one. So we can say here return redirect to action. Which action? Index, because index is going to show all the records. And since now till now we have seen only one action result, that was a view only. Now there is one more, redirect to action. Okay, we are done. Now let's do one thing. Let's put a breakpoint here. Okay, and because in ASP.NET you have a habit of closing, opening the connection, then fetching the record. But in entity framework, by default, this object, which one? This one. This object maintains the connection, and it reads the connection string from where? This Anika tag MVC. It calls the base class constructor, and it passes this parameter. If you expand web.config, so here it reads the connection string based on this name. Okay, now let's run the application. And prior to running this application, we have to make sure our root config is pointing to correct controller and action. So let's change the controller name employee, and we have to call this index action itself. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here and run the application. Okay, So first of all, it is going to build our application. Okay, so it will open this. This is our local host. This is a random port chosen by Visual Studio. Okay, so when, yeah, so it is going to see, by default it comes here, and control F5, yeah. So index, if I press F11, since we don't have any data, so I press F5. Okay, so blank row is displayed, but from this page, this index page, I want to navigate to this create action. How we can do that? Let's go to create one, and here we have one more HTML helper class, that is a action link, that is known as the anchor tag. It has got a few parameters. First parameter says link text. So what is link text? Create, let's give the name, create employee. And second parameter is action name. So what is the action name? Create. Okay, always remember create. So it is going to come here and it will return a page. And one more thing, if your application is running, see, our application is running, and if you make the changes in this CSHTML page, so you don't need to stop the application. And just now what I did, I made the changes in this view only. So control F5. Let's remove this breakpoint from here also. Okay, so let's click on this create new. Okay, so one simple form is there, first name, last name, gender. Let's fill the value. Abhishek Pathak, suppose male. Let's give 9876543. Country India, MH Maharashtra, suppose Koper here. Okay, let's click on the save employee and put a breakpoint. Click save employee and F11. Now if we expand this, see, all the values have been retrieved from that form. Okay, and let's do one thing, F10. Okay, now record is saved. Now record is saved, and what we are saying, go to this index page. Okay, now if put the breakpoint here, F5, it is going to retrieve a record. See, we got the one record, and if I press F5, so one record is displayed here. See, ID, this one. Okay, so this video shows the create and read. Okay, create and read. So let's navigate to this. So what is entity framework database? First approach, create, read, update, and delete. In this video we saw how we can perform create and read operation. Okay, in this video I had to cover this MVC interview questions, but once all the operation will be covered, then I'll show you different operations, different interview questions based on CRUD. Also I have shared this document in my video, and if you navigate to Anika tag YouTube suppose, and if you go there, okay, and any video if you click, then you will see the this video link or this document link, and here I have lots of topic, lots of interview question, so you can refer this well. Okay, I hope you have liked my video. So please subscribe my YouTube channel, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you for watching. Bye.